the hour with a radar look, but gosh, look at this heavy rainfall that's coming into the city right now. And that's a look at the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, southern sections of Cook County, includes portions of the south side of Chicago into the northeastern corner of Will County. So Frankfort, Chicago Heights, Tinley Park, Orland Park, you're right in the middle of it. Harvey, it's picking up right now. Auburn Gresham, it's picking up right now as well. And let's see if we can pop on some of our live cameras, just because we're about to see some really intense rainfall to move in to the city. This is the live look. This is from the Prudential building. We've had it tilted down at Millennium Park at Pritzker Pavilion, where we're about to have live music, supposed to get going at the top of the hour. Based on these downpours coming in and cloud and ground lightning, they should really start thinking about clearing people out of the park, because the rain is headed in right now. And I'll show you that we're just less than 10 minutes away now from these, probably about 5 minutes away from these showers and thunderstorms to move into Chicago. So let's look at the Doppler radar. Let's turn on the lightning, because that is a big issue when it comes to lightning. Cloud to ground lightning. We'll turn that on. We just had something print out. Let's see what we got. They're going to, the National Weather Service is calling this severe thunderstorm in southern sections of Cook County into Kankakee and now Will County. We'll take a look at that. Considerable damage possible with that thunderstorm, with wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour still. So we'll look at that new warning in just a second. But while our attention is over the city of Chicago, we'll watch this for you. So here's the loop right here. Here's the West Loop, West Town. Get out here towards Oak Park, right in the middle. Some really heavy rainfall. Berwyn area, Oak Park, this is the area hit so hard back on Sunday with isolated amounts of 8 to 9 inches of rainfall. So that's why we have saturated soil, and that's why urban flash flooding will be possible. And just taking a look at the latest radar scan over Chicago, there is potential for some very small hail to now starting to pop up from Humboldt Park southward as you get closer to the Ike. So anytime the Doppler radar starts to indicate this, these little purple areas, that is the radar beam pinging off of some hail. And let's go to our Doppler radar that is out of O'Hare, because it's a little bit closer and it's a little bit different. So what I'm thinking is the first radar was showing you out of Romeoville, probably scanning the thunderstorm too high. And as the higher you go, the colder it gets in the atmosphere. So there's definitely ice and hail in the thunderstorm, but a little bit close to the surface, it's just some really heavy rainfall. So we'll go back to the Doppler radar out of Romeoville from the National Weather Service, and we'll broaden out the view here. We'll take a look at the city as these showers and thunderstorms, again, just minutes away from moving on in. You saw all of the incredible amount of cloud to ground lightning. So if you know anyone at Millennium Park, or they're hanging out at Grant Park or by the lake shore, this is usually when they get in the run, tell them to get inside, because it's not just heavy downpours, but it's that dangerous cloud to ground lightning. And embedded in this activity as well, let's take a look at the winds. I mean, there could be some wind gusts coming into Logan Square and Jefferson Park and up around Roscoe Village, 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour. There's no rotation from that action, but these are some gusty winds. It's a strong thunderstorm. There's no severe thunderstorm warning with it, at least not yet. So, and a little bit of an uptick in winds right here, not far from Bucktown, not far from Wicker Park. So here's Division, here's Milwaukee. So some intense winds here, maybe close to 50 miles per hour. And while we're here, we'll just take a look at the Doppler radar, see if we have, yeah, so this is winds out ahead of the storm. So there's Wicker Park right there. So you got those heavy downpours, cool air rushes out ahead of these downpours, and you get that quick gust of wind even before it starts raining. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So Wicker Park to Humboldt Park to Logan to Bucktown to the Avondale neighborhood, Lakeview, North Center, Roscoe Village. That rain is picking up in a big way for you. We'll just kind of go up along the Kennedy, and we'll take a look at the Jefferson Park and Dunning neighborhood, also dealing with some really, really intense rainfall that's moving in from the west. Within the next 45 minutes, though, we're going to be in good shape. So it's not good shape if you want to like go out for a run or a walk or something, but that severe weather threat in the next 45 minutes is going to be coming to an end for most of Cook County, most of the city of Chicago. So let's focus in on this thunderstorm warning, the new one that has just popped up. We'll zoom into it, the one that now includes parts of Kankakee County. This one issued at 6:52, so about 4 minutes ago, and we'll put the warning statistics here from the National Weather Service. So this was the first warning up here that just included southern areas of Cook and northern sections of Will. This one has been expanded now to include the northeast corner of Kankakee County, the rest of eastern Will County, and the southern and also south eastern portion of Cook County. Okay, Chicago Heights are included, and then all of Lake County. And the issue with this one, not so much in hail, but intense winds. Potential for wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour. So they put this tag on the warning, calling it the potential for considerable amount of damage. Let's see if we can locate where some of the most intense winds are right now. We'll take a look at our Doppler radar winds. Gosh, right now in eastern sections of Will County, let's zoom in. There's some really intense winds pushing away from I-57. This is the one that's going to be moving into central sections of Lake County shortly. Here's Crete. So Crete, potential here for some wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. I don't see any indications of winds of 70. I don't see that just yet. But we'll take a look at this. We'll go to our velocity query here, and what we can do is we can actually find some of these really hot spots and actually query them. And yeah, so it's 50, 51 mile per hour wind gusts, which is below severe weather limits, but the Weather Service saying that there's at least some potential at times that this thunderstorm could be producing wind gusts at times as high as 70 miles per hour. And on top of all of that, look at all of the heavy rainfall moving on in. Just big drops, blinding rainfall along I-57 down here towards the south into Will County, and then down towards the south into Kankakee County as well. There could even be some embedded areas of some hail. You see the little purple hot spot there to the north, Piatone, so we'll watch that. So it looks like we now have a flood advisory posted for portions of Cook and DuPage and Will County, based on what we're just talking about, this very, very heavy rainfall that's coming in on the heels of a very heavy rainfall event that we had on Sunday. So we're starting to get the first indications of street flooding and even some swollen creek issues. So there's no flash flood warning just yet, but this area of Cook County into DuPage County and then into Will County, where we have this heaviest thunderstorm, potential for some street flooding with that new flood advisory that has been posted. So we'll take a look at the Doppler radar here, and one thing that we're just going to continue to watch as well, just because, you know, it's summertime and so many people are outdoors, just a tremendous amount of lightning. I think I'm able to show you just how much lightning we've had with all these thunderstorms. Yeah, so we do that, and we've had, see if it shows up, about 400 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes in all of this area. You can see that what we queried, about 401 in just this red square. And the bulk of it right now is over southern and central sections of Cook County. So as we go back to, let's see if anyone cleared out from Millennium Park at Pritzker Pavilion. I'm thinking they probably did. No, there's still some people out there. So I mean, the lawn not nearly as full as it usually is, but these people need to get to a safe spot. I mean, the rain's coming in really, really soon. And let's see if we got any other live cameras that we can show you with these storms rolling on in. That's Daily Plaza across the street from CBS 2. This is from a building at Clark Street that's overlooking the Kennedy. MW3 is, that's going to be, what is MW3? Oh, do you have that actually? I don't think I have it on here, Drake. But let's take a look at this one. Oh, there you go. Wow. So this is from the Hancock looking down towards the south. And there's that heavy downpour, the one focused in moving across the city right now. So, you know, we saw those folks at Millennium Park. They got to get out of there. And you not only see the heavy downpours coming on in, but you have the cloud-to-ground lightning as well. We showed you how those really intense downpours were also moving across the Kennedy from Jefferson Park to Logan Square to Bucktown. This is Bucktown, Wicker Park are kind of right in here. Here's the Kennedy Expressway. That's outbound, and then you see all the headlights coming inbound with that thunderstorm that's rolling in right now. So temperatures in the 70s right now, cooling because of all the heavy downpours that we have. And as these strong thunderstorms come into the city, let's watch them. And the reason I keep looking over here is I have a monitor set up where I can see what the Weather Service is, what they're talking about, and they have no new warnings to tell you about, no new information. But gosh, a tremendous amount of rainfall coming on in to the city of Chicago right now. We're going to do this just because the atmosphere, although not super conducive for rotation, we have had some signs of rotating thunderstorms in just the last hour, especially with these thunderstorms that were in Will County and DuPage County. I'm not seeing any rotation out of these storms, and because the O'Hare Doppler radar is a little bit closer, we'll take a look at that. So just heavy rainfall. I mean, it's right in the west loop. It's moving in south loop right now. It's in the loop right now. and extending out towards the west to Cicero and Midway getting pounded by rainfall as well. Pilsen and Chinatown to Inglewood all seeing the rainfall. And that's the Doppler radar again out of O'Hare. Let's turn on the Doppler velocity. It shows me Doppler winds, and not seeing anything incredible in terms of winds here in the city. It could be 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, maybe a bit higher down here towards the south side, so Woodlawn to Beverly. Heavy winds as you go down towards the south and southeast corner of Cook County. Here's Harvey, and now all that thunderstorm activity beginning to move into Lake County, Indiana. So here's East Chicago. Gary back in here. So Gary, a couple more minutes. You got that heavy rain moving in for you. Hammond, a little bit of hail back off towards the west of you. Appears that thunderstorm though may move just to the north of Hammond, but you see how all of this expanding from the east to northeast. And let's just continue to keep an eye on the winds here and see if we have anything that catches our eye in terms of rotation. No, it looks to be all straight line winds. I mean, these are some really heavy winds, 50, 55-mile-per-hour winds for sure headed into Hammond right now. And then they're even worse as you get into Will County. So here's Crete, south of Crete, and what we did earlier is we were able to kind of query those pixels on just how high these winds are. And I mean, this is getting close to 60-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, 59-mile-per-hour wind right now, moving to the south of Crete with this thunderstorm. We'll put this into motion so we can kind of get our bearings straight and see how this is progressing. All right, it's moving west to east right now. So if you're in St. John, if you're in Cedar Lake, if you're in Crown Point, Maryville, in Lake County, this is what's headed your direction with these intense winds moving closer to you. No rotation, but these are straight line winds, and they're clocking in right now from the Doppler radar at Romeoville of 60 miles per hour. And I'm not seeing any indication. Sometimes you can get these little appendages that will start to rotate. We're not seeing that right now, but I think it's worth looking at one other Doppler radar source just to make sure we're okay. So this is the radar out of Midway. That's kind of scanning a little bit higher, but there you see the worst of the winds moving away from Crete, getting a little bit closer to St. John. That is enough to bring down tree limbs, enough to do at least some minor damage to carports. In terms of hail, yeah, nothing big in the hailfall department. So it's just heavy rainfall. It's a ton of lightning, and it's some intense winds. It's not widespread 60-mile-per-hour winds. As you saw, there are these hot spots that are happening. So we'll widen out the view. And this is what we're going to do next few minutes. We're just going to watch these showers and thunderstorms, and as new information comes in the Weather Service, we'll pass it on. But that's the worst of it right now, from downtown to the south side to southern Cook County into at least the eastern half of Will County into Kankakee County, and all of that is headed into northwest Indiana, inching now into Lake County, Indiana. Let's go for the all clear, though. You're done with severe weather now. Schaumburg and Downers Grove and Aurora, Waukegan, Highland Park, McHenry, Crystal Lake, DeKalb, Aurora, Morris, Ottawa. So areas to the west and to the north of Chicago, you're out of the severe weather threat now. It's mainly focused in city and south, and then expanding off towards the east into northwest Indiana. So let's go back. We'll just hopefully these people, I mean, it's pouring out Millennium Park. Yeah, I mean, look, we can't even see visibility now at Millennium Park. So, if that didn't clear you out, I don't know what is going to. Just these rain curtains moving on in. I'm going to step out real quick because I do want to show that camera from the Hancock once again. That will give us a little bit better view. And I bet you that's probably stuck in the clouds too. Let's look. Yeah, so we can't see anything from that camera. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to load our camera from just outside of CBS 2 at Daily Plaza. There you go. Yeah, that's the rain moving in. Thunder and lightning, non-severe though here in the loop, but a gully washer for sure. So that's the worst of the weather is happening right now. The National Weather Service just saying that they're continuing that severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for southern Cook County into eastern Will County, into Kankakee County, into Lake County. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7:35, so another 25 minutes. They're talking about the hail threat. It's below severe weather limits, but the wind threat, potential for wind gusts still at 70 miles per hour. So back to Doppler radar in a moment, but we'll look at the latest radar data that's coming on in. And I think this model is just a little bit behind. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something on the fly here. And we're actually going to load one of our high-resolution models that we're able to create here at CBS 2 using our weather vendor, which is IBM. So this is the short-range graph model, and we'll just kind of take a look at this together. Yeah, this one's right on it. So showing worse the weather, Chicago down to the south, it's happening now. And then watch as we head towards 8 o'clock, mainly northwest Indiana, 9 o'clock, we're in good shape, and it's showing by 10 o'clock maybe some lingering showers, but we're done. So I think that's right on. I think by 8 o'clock, the worse the weather is going to be in northwest Indiana, Valpo to LaPorte, maybe Rensselaer and the rest of Jasper County. And then by 9 o'clock, I think we're in the clear everywhere. And by 10, maybe there's a few little lingering isolated showers, but really no big deal. So this model's kind of the winner today. Did terrible on Sunday, by the way, so it's redeeming itself this evening on what's going to happen. So with that being said, let's take a look at that severe thunderstorm down here towards the south, and we'll start from the city southward. And right now, the heart of the city, the loop, downtown up here towards the north side, we're not under any kind of a warning right now. The only thing that we're under is a flood advisory because of ponding on the roadway and some minor street flooding. Nowhere near as bad as what we had on Sunday, but because of Sunday's rainfall, we're just so saturated soil-wise. And of course, we're an urban jungle, so it doesn't take a whole lot for us to have some issues. And that's exactly what's going on right now with, as you saw a few minutes ago, the live camera from the loop at Daily Plaza, just the tremendous amount of rain. So, okay, this is new. This is now a new flash flood warning that is now being posted for Cook County. So, new flash flood warning. I'm going to step out and look at the readout here, and it's just coming out. You hear it coming off the printer as we speak. So, as we were talking about, there would be a chance of us having flash flooding issues, and this has certainly happened. So the Weather Service has this flash flood warning for southeastern Cook County until 10 o'clock. I'm going to see if I can load that up here for you, and that way we can see what it looks like. Where is it located? Here we go. Okay, so in maroon, that is the flash flood warning that's in effect. So it includes the city of Chicago and then back off towards southern sections of Cook County. So you see the orange that's covering the Harvey area. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. But it's central and southern areas of Cook County, a flash flood warning that is in effect now until 10 o'clock. Weather Service says that the Doppler radar and radar gauges indicate that the heavy thunderstorm that you see right there producing rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour, and upwards of 1.5 inches of rain have already fallen in southwest Cook County, and an additional 2 inches are possible. So that 1.5 inches that fell in parts of southwest Cook County came down in 30 minutes. And it's going to be short-lived. It's not going to be as bad as Sunday, but we still got flash flooding going on right now. So if you don't have to be out and about, especially the city southward, don't do it. And even with the heaviest action on the Doppler radar, let's give it 20 minutes. And the worst the rain is going to be out here over Lake Michigan into northwest Indiana. The residual issues of flash flooding, ponding on the roadway, also potential maybe for some stranded vehicles in those really, really low spots. That's going to be with us through about 10 o'clock. So Taryn and Drake, alert the newsroom. Flash flood warning in effect. City of Chicago, south side as well. So let's see. The Weather Service saying flash flooding of underpasses, residential streets expected to begin shortly across portions of central and southern Cook County because of what we talked about, rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. That is tremendous amount of rainfall, and you see it moving across the loop right now. And we'll go back to our live camera from. This is the lowest one that we have out of the clouds, but there's the heavy rainfall right now. And on Sunday, we were able to see a lot of splashing right here. This is Clark and Washington. That's Daily Plaza. And rain continues to fall at this hour. There's a look at all of the lightning, just a tremendous amount of lightning from these thunderstorms that are at the moment not producing any large hail, but producing a lot of wind, especially southern Cook County, Kankakee County, and now moving into Lake County. So cloud ground lightning, heavy rainfall, wind, those are the three main threats with these thunderstorms. At times we have had some rotation, but there have been no tornado warnings and nothing that has been super tight on the Doppler radar for the Weather Service to prompt a tornado warning, okay? So while we're looking at the lightning, we'll kind of show you just how much lightning we have had from everything in this red box just in the last 15 minutes. And it's down from the last time we looked at this about 20 minutes ago, but still a lot of lightning, 260 cloud-ground lightning strikes from really Chicago southward to parts of Kankakee. So let's get back into our radar tour. It is 7:11. And this is what we'll do. We'll just kind of work it from north to south, and we'll use all of our products. Really, rain is the main concern right now in Chicago, and we'll put this into looping mode. And unlike what we had on Sunday, that little low is just stuck here. This is eventually going to get better. It's going to get better here in the next, give it 15 minutes, and it's going to be a lot better in about 30 minutes. But the heaviest rainfall focused over the city right now, from the north side to the loop to the west side, into the south side in particular. Widespread heavy rainfall across the south side right now. But this will be moving out over the lake, and we're going to be on the back side of this. Give it 15 minutes. We'll be more in this kind of light to moderate rainfall. But this is what's prompted that flash flood warning. And embedded in all this activity, we have rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour, and there have been a couple of rain gauges out here towards the west that reported 1.5 inches of rainfall in 30 minutes. So tremendous amount of rain. Not as heavy as Sunday, but it's still heavy rainfall. Down into southern areas of Cook County, that's where we have that not only flash flood concern, but wind concern. It looks like south of Hyde Park to Chatham neighborhood, there could be some wind gusts embedded in here, 45 to 50 miles per hour. Overall, though, I mean, the worse the wind, we've been talking about it, moving out of Will County, and my goodness, it's right in to west central sections of Lake County, Indiana. So this is going to be well to the south of Gary, but near St. John to the north of Lowell and approaching I-65 right now. Okay, I mean, this is where we have those winds. Let's take a look at them. This is where we have winds now approaching 70 miles per hour. We're starting to see some radar truce into it. So this one that's moved right over St. John, that's a 60 mile per hour wind. Let's see if we get anything higher. There you go. 70 mile per hour winds has just moved through St. John. So newsroom, let's talk to Lake County. Let's make sure everyone's good in St. John. They just had a severe thunderstorm just seconds ago pass through with 70 mile per hour winds. Cedar Lake, some of the most intense winds are just north of you by 1.5 miles, nearing 60 miles per hour. But if you are in Crown Point, this is what's headed your direction. 60 to maybe as high as 70 mile per hour winds headed towards you, and shouldn't be any traveling here on I-65 from Maryville southward to the county line to the south, okay? Just because we're going to have some really intense winds coming out of the west. Those crosswinds, especially for high-profile vehicles, 18-wheelers, can be very, very dangerous here along I-65. So this is the worst thunderstorm of the night that we've seen, just because we're starting to see now ground truce of just that, of 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Moving to St. John, or just now moving out of St. John, and there you see the leading edge. What we have to watch out for sometimes is these little appendages. You can sometimes get quick little spit-ups of weak tornadoes. I'm not seeing that. It's all straight line winds. That's good. I'm not seeing any indication of any rotation, but my goodness, these are just some really, really intense winds. This is another product. Just, we have velocity, and then we have this SRV, which is storm relative velocity. I'm just kind of curious what we were just looking at that, I think, but we'll look at this again for, see if we can do this. Okay, it looks like we had a new severe thunderstorm warning. That one's going to be extended. Okay, so let's look at that one as well. So anyway, St. John, Hanover, headed towards Crown Point, 60, 70 mile per hour winds headed towards your direction. Severe thunderstorm heading your direction right now. So let's get you updated on this brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Basically what the Weather Service has done is they have they're looking exactly what we're just looking at, and they're like, nope, we got to extend this guy. And that's exactly what they have done for Jasper, portions of Jasper County, extreme northern Jasper County, and then it appears all of Porter County. So we'll kind of get a closer look. So you get the idea now. The worst the rain, south side, southern areas of Cook County, that's going to be out over the lake soon. The worst of the wind down here towards the south. Now moving out of Will County, focused in northwest Indiana in Lake County, and moving into Porter and extreme northern sections of Jasper County. So we'll light this up with that brand new warning just out a few minutes ago at 7:14, so about a minute ago. And we'll highlight everyone who's included. So all of Porter County, all of Lake County, extreme northern little fringe of Jasper County. And here's I-65 from the county line with Newton to the lake. And that's not a road that you want to be on here over the next 45 minutes because of these intense winds, potentially as high as 70 miles per hour. We're getting a Doppler radar indicated wind gusts at 70. Now, granted, that's going to be several hundred feet up, but mixing to the ground, 60, 65. You bet. So that's the new one in effect until 8 o'clock. It's 7:15 right now. They have put this little tag here. They started doing this a couple of years ago, tornado possible, meaning that basically what we were just talking about. You get these little quick appendages, and at times you can get quick spin-up tornadoes. So it doesn't mean a tornado is imminent. It's not developing now, but something that we got to watch with a complex of thunderstorms just like that. And that's why we're going to be paying close attention to just that. So we'll kind of scoot this like so, and actually we'll turn on our velocity scan again just to make sure we're looking good. Yeah, so wow, moving away from Whiting, some intense winds now over the lake. There's the most intense winds now in west central sections of Lake County, St. John, north of Lowell, about to approach I-65 in the next 5 to 10 minutes as it's moving off towards the east. Let's see if we get a new forward speed, and then we'll do a storm track on it. I'm going to grab my sheet of paper out over here. So that thunderstorm that we're watching, Lake County now, they've got it moving east at 35 miles per hour, potential for winds of 70 miles per hour. So let's do a new storm track on it then, and we'll track the winds. So we'll keep the winds on, and we'll show you where the most intense winds will be over the next hour. Start here, down towards Lowell, and move it off towards the east. 35 miles per hour. There you go. So Crown Point, it's 7:17 right now. Crown Point, it moves in about 2.5 minutes. Maryville at 7:26, and then Hobart at 7:37. Valpo, if it holds together, which I think it will, we're talking 7:50, and that's why that severe thunderstorm warning for Porter County until 8 p.m. And then Westville at 8:09. So here's Westville here in LaPorte County. Okay, so that's going to be impacting especially the northern counties here in northwest Indiana. Lake now, then Porter within the next 30 minutes to an hour, and then LaPorte County. I don't think these thunderstorms are going to lose any steam just because the atmosphere is untouched in that part of the area. There's a look at that severe thunderstorm warning there. And we have multiple warnings now on the map. This is about as active as it has been all evening long. Severe thunderstorm warning continues Lake County and Porter County, northern Jasper County. Straight line winds the main concern. Could get a little bit of hail and bed in activity, but it's mainly wind for you. The severe thunderstorm warning does continue, at least for the moment, for southeastern Cook, far eastern Will, northeastern Kankakee, but that's going to get trimmed out really soon because now the worst of the weather is moving on out now. And then from the city of Chicago, central Cook County, southern Cook County, that maroon, that is a flash flood warning in effect. In green, that's the flash flood watch. And oh yeah, by the way, we have an air quality alert too. That's what you see on the in the green. But our air quality is going to get better with this rain and this frontal system moving on in right now. So let's just redo what we just did. We'll start with the live camera look and see what we got. Improving conditions, it looks like here in the loop. This is guaranteed rate field. Oh, Sox was supposed to play at the top of the hour. I haven't read anything officially, but with cloud of ground lightning and downpours, you bet we got a delay a game. Drake, if you get your phone, you can look that up for me and see how much they delay it. But this is guaranteed rate field looking off towards the Dan Ryan right now. And the rain is heavy, slowing down traffic just a bit. And then to Doppler radar we go. There's a look at the heavy showers and thunderstorms that have improved the last couple of minutes here in Chicago. It's still pouring, right? We still got the thunder and lightning, but not nearly as heavy as it was about 5 minutes ago. That's now right about a mile offshore and continuing to move off towards the east. There's still some intense pockets of rainfall for sure, though, and we'll start our tour up here towards the north and work our way down to the south. So Streeterville and River North and Gold Coast and Lincoln Square, heavy downpour still. I mean, it's right along the lakeshore, right as we speak. And we have another little area of downpours right here. So Humboldt Park and then down towards the Ike, a little bit closer to the Ike. So West Loop, a little bit of a lull at the moment, but that's headed towards you. There's the heavy rainfall in the loop. And then we'll go down towards the south. Here's the south side. So Pilsen, it's moderate rainfall right now, not as heavy as it was just a few minutes ago. Same goes in Cicero, it's moderate rainfall. Really heavy downpour though in Bronzeville to Inglewood, and then also areas down here towards the south of Hyde Park. And even as we head into Beverly, things have improved in a big way. Burnham right in the middle of it, Whiting right in the middle of it. East Chicago has just picked up in the last couple of minutes, that rain. Okay, so thank you, Drake. Drake says that the Sox are in a rain delay, and to be determined when they're going to get that game on. Because even though the heavy rainfall, let's go, let me show you Sox Field again. Even though the heavy rainfall is beginning to move away, right? It's just moderate rainfall. watch what we have here. Let's turn on the lightning. Lightning delay, right? So we got a lot of cloud to ground lightning still ongoing, especially down here towards the south. And even with the rain kind of letting up, we still got some cloud to ground lightning strikes out here towards the west, closer to the tri-state. So let's see, first pitch at 7:21. First pitch may not be closer to 9 at this point, 8:45, 9. So they'll get it in, but it's just going to be a delay game. And at this point, to be determined for the Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field. The worst of the weather continues down here towards the south. Gosh, look at all of this heavy rainfall right now. Pulling away from Harvey, but moving across to East Chicago. A lot of lightning. I mean, this rainfall rate, this is the heaviest rainfall right now that we're seeing. This is 1 inch to maybe 2 inches per hour. Hammond, it's letting up just in the last 30 seconds, but it's still pouring cats and dogs out there. And down here towards the south, this is the worst storm in the region, and certainly in our viewing area. North of St. John, we have hail developing, so there's a hail threat now with this thunderstorm. This is moving into Crown Point. This is focused right over Lake County, Indiana, and we'll see if the winds have improved. They have not. These winds continue to be very strong. They've actually become a little bit more widespread. Crown Point right in the middle of it, and anytime you see these little orange areas pop up on the velocity scan, that's winds 60+ miles per hour. I don't see any super hot spots like we did about 7 minutes ago over St. John that are indicating 70-mile-per-hour winds, but these are severe wind gusts that you see here in orange, and these winds are 50, 55 miles per hour. Griffith to Hammond, moving off towards the east. So Gary, less than 10 minutes, you're going to have some really intense winds, and the rain is already picking up right now just off towards the east of you. Cedar Lake, worst of the weather, beginning to shift off towards your east, but you're still in the mix of it. Wind gusts 45, maybe as high as 55 miles per hour, and then Lowell, also you're seeing the winds increase right now. So also, as we're focused over Lake County, we'll turn back the Doppler radar. Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a flood advisory as well. Because again, it's not just the rain, it's not just the little hail threat, but the really intense winds, but the rain is prompting some flooding concerns now. Street flooding is going to be it's ongoing now, and it's only going to get worse until this thunderstorm moves back off to the east of you in Porter County. And speaking of Porter County, this thunderstorm is in line for you, so that's why you're under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So we'll take a look at northwest Indiana. We'll broaden out the radar view just so you can see it. And while we're here, we'll do a storm track again. That way you know where it's headed. So this is the worst storm that we've tracked all day, and we have it moving off towards the east, like so, 35 miles per hour. Moving to Crown Point right now, Hobart at 7:40, Boone at 7:41, Valparaiso at 7:54, so just ahead of the top of the hour in 30 minutes. Dewey at 8:08, Union Mills out here towards LaPorte County is going to be at 8:20 with that particular thunderstorm. So yeah, that's a big bad one. Improving here in Chicago little by little. It's still rainy. We still got the thunder and lightning. It's not a pretty night for sure, but this has been in the forecast for a couple of days. And we'll do the wide view, and we'll do some more all clears here, all clear from severe weather. It's going to be a while for the rain to stop, but all clear from really western areas of Cook County, all of DuPage County, all of Kendall and Grundy County, all of areas of LaSalle County and DeKalb County. It's rain, but non-severe for you. McHenry County, as well as Lake County, you're in good shape. Northern sections now of Cook County, you're in the clear. Moderate rainfall, a little bit of thunder and lightning still up here towards the north. And you'll have those residual lightning issues, those rumbles of thunder. You see them here for about the next 45 minutes. But the worst of the weather, at least in Cook County, beginning to pull away and move out over Lake Michigan, and then over land, it's in Lake County right now. So Lake and Porter and LaPorte, you're under the gun for the worst of the weather here over the next hour with these thunderstorms moving on in. So control room, here's the plan. We're going to stick with this until 7:30. We'll do a reset, and then we'll pop in and out as conditions warranted. But things are starting to improve little by little, especially here in the metro. But if you're watching us from Porter County and Lake County, we got you. If anything new comes out, and we're going to be here either way, we'll be here for you. But the rainfall rates are starting to come down in Chicago, unless you're right on the lakeshore. I mean, it's still pouring right now, including Grant Park and Millennium Park. The South Loop's still stuck in the rainfall. It's a steady moderate rainfall. West Loop and Westtown, Ukrainian Village, up towards Humboldt Park, that's improved in a big way. If you're in Humboldt Park or the Dunning neighborhood, you probably just heard a loud thunderclap a few minutes ago, and we see that right there. So even with light rain, you can still get clouded ground lightning, and that's one of the reasons why I think the Sox are going to be delayed for a little while, even though the rain's going to start to let up little by little. The clouded ground lightning is something that we'll have to continue to watch. So let's see, that gets stuck. All right, may need to reset that. There we go. So we're back on radar here, and south side, heavy downpours, but nothing severe, at least in the south side of Chicago. You're going to get down here towards southern Cook County, south of the Pullman area, where the winds could potentially be above 50 miles per hour. So let's take a look at some new high-res data coming in as we get towards the bottom of the hour. And this is going to be our hour-by-hour forecast for what we're expecting for the remainder of the evening. So within the next half hour, conditions improve drastically across the city of Chicago and even Cook County. And the worst of the weather over the next hour is going to be here in northwest Indiana. As we head into the 8 o'clock hour, it's going to be in Porter County and LaPorte County and maybe northern sections of Jasper County. So it's going to be these three counties. And a look at the future radar. And here's the clock up here towards the north. By 9 o'clock, we're done with a severe weather risk around here. So we got another hour and a half, a little bit more than an hour and a half, and we're going to be all clear for most of us. We'll have some residual areas of showers. That's going to continue until 10 o'clock. There could even be a couple of isolated showers at midnight, but things are going to improve, and they're improving now, thankfully, across northeastern sections of Illinois. The worst of the wind now pulling away from Cook County, and the worst of the weather right now focused in over Lake County right now. We'll go into our forecast mode, take the next 2 minutes before we dip back to normal programming and kind of show you what we can expect for remainder of not just the night, but also for the next 7 days. So out there right now, this will get updated soon. It's certainly not 82 anymore at the loop with that heavy downpour. This is all rain-cooled air. We like to see numbers like this, including 69 in DeKalb, because that indicates a more stable environment. But notice where the hot temperatures are now. Gary, 79. 85 Valpo, 82 Rensselaer and LaPorte. So this is where the unstable air is right now, hot, humid air, warm, humid air. And that's why these thunderstorms are going to hold their own and still pose a heavy rainfall threat, a wind threat, a lightning threat, and also maybe some small hail threats. So that's why we're focusing over Porter, LaPorte County, Lake Jasper, Newton County over the next hour and a half. There's a check the hour-by-hour forecast. We took a look at that, but we'll look at temperatures beyond midnight. Other than an isolated shower, we're in good shape. Tomorrow morning, we'll put the rain chance at 20%. Temperatures will be upper 60s and low 70s. And then for the afternoon time, we'll look for temperatures to be in the mid 70s. So a lot cooler than what it has been around here with a partly cloudy sky for tomorrow. The high at 77 for your Thursday. We'll go 79 on Friday, 79 with a chance of showers on Saturday. Each of the next 3 days, though, featuring a wind either out of the north or east off of Lake Michigan. And water temperatures right now around 69 degrees. So it'll be cooler near the lake, not drastically cooler, but still low 70s expected with a chance of showers on Saturday. So the worst of the rainfall in the city of Chicago is happening now. It's improving within the next half hour. It's going to take a couple of hours, though, for us to completely dry out. By 10 o'clock, I think we're mainly dry over much of the area. And then overnight, we are cloudy and 67 degrees. And then for tomorrow, the rain chance small at 20% to account for an isolated morning shower. Best chance of clouds will be in the morning as well, and then we're partly cloudy and 77 as we head into the afternoon. Temperature staying in the 70s next few days. 79 Friday, mainly dry. Chance of showers of 40% at 79 on Saturday. Not expecting really anything all that heavy or severe on Saturday. Smaller chance of rain Sunday at 20% and 82, and then we're back in the mid 80s on Monday. We'll look for some 80s with even some on and off rain chances middle part of next week. So we're going to head back to normal programming here on CBS News Chicago. We will be back, though, with updates as needed as the evening goes on. But right now, we're focused in on this, the severe weather in Lake County moving into Porter County right now. The two main concerns with that thunderstorm, it's going to be straight line damaging winds, potentially 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and heavy rainfall that has already prompted some flash flooding concerns. Flood advisories posted in Lake County and also in portions of Cook County. I'm Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon. Keep it here all evening long on CBS News Chicago. We'll keep you ahead of the storm.
More than 200 shots were fired during a July 4th gathering in West Englewood. One person was killed, 5 others injured when the bullets started flying near 56th and Ada. Police say they are investigating whether the gunman was attending the party.
It's a shame. It come down to this, that they trying to get that attention like this by out here acting out.
It was supposed to be a 4th of July celebration, but it turned into chaos.
The shooting in West Englewood was part of a violent several hours in the city. According to police data, between midnight and around 9 this morning, at least 15 people were shot, 3 of them killed. One of those victims was under the age of 18.
Only on 2, we're hearing directly from the Violence Prevention and Crisis Response Team launched by Governor J.B. Pritzker here in Chicago.
What have they accomplished so far, and are they making a difference? Our Tara Molina has been asking about this team for months and joins us now from the newsroom.
Joe and Erica, the group of 30 has been at work here in Chicago since Memorial Day weekend. Cedric Hawkins is one of those workers. He tells me it can be hard to quantify violence prevention, but they are making a difference.
Keeping crowded areas like this safe. It's not just up to law enforcement.
How y'all doing?
Not anymore.
We did a great job out here this weekend.
Cedric Hawkins is part of a special team created by the state and announced by the governor's office, the citywide crisis and response unit, trained in violence prevention.
We get deployed for mass shootings.
And a whole lot more. He was here on 31st Street Beach responding to large groups of teens here this past holiday weekend.
Nobody harmed, nobody hurt, and no fighting.
The unit works across the city, dispatched when needed, and is prepared to handle and de-escalate situations